Picture that you wake up one morning feeling a bit under the weather. Rather than reaching for your phone to call the doctor's office and navigating the labyrinth of automated messages, you grab your smartphone and effortlessly schedule a virtual appointment. Welcome to the future of medicine. Once again, in this episode, we'll be diving into the fascinating realm of medical technology, specifically into health informatics systems, applications that promise to revolutionize the way we experience healthcare. From the moment you schedule that appointment, your master patient index or MPI comes to life. It's not just a record of your basic information, it's a comprehensive digital profile crafted from your unique biometric data. Think fingerprints, facial recognition, the stuff that makes you, well, you. Imagine all your medical related information and records in the same place. No need to keep saving lots of documents or even wait in person to be seen by the doctor. Everything through a great interface engine accessed with your biometric data.
Wow!
This interface connects with a vast network of healthcare databases, pulling in your medical history, analyzing images from past tests, and collating relevant data from previous visits. Suddenly, your doctor isn't just seeing you at the moment, they have a holistic view of your health in their hands. Prescriptions? No need for a script note of a piece of paper. The interface generates electronic prescriptions that find their way to your preferred pharmacy. No lines, no hassle, just pick up and go. And the billing? It's all taken care of automatically. No more complicated statements or wrestling with insurance paperwork. But the future of medicine doesn't end there. Your journey through the healthcare system is tracked, linking different institutions. Every test, every consultation, it's all part of a comprehensive log accessible to both you and your healthcare providers. Join us as we unravel the layers of how this situation is coming to life and how informatic health systems can reshape the landscape of healthcare. The future is now, and it's time to reimagine the patient experience. Welcome to the Medicine of the Future, your favorite MedTech podcast. This is your everyday host, Marcos, and how you could hear, today we'll be discussing how we can get to a future where healthcare is ruled by informatic systems. Grab your favorite snack, make yourself comfortable, and let's begin. As we dive into the world of healthcare informatics, two experts in the field will be joining us. We're honored to welcome these two esteemed guests to the podcast, each bringing a unique perspective and a wealth of experience to the table. First up, we have Dr. Megan Botis, an incredible biomedical engineer who has spent the past decade working from designing custom medical devices to implementing advanced health informatics systems, and Sebastian Gomez, a health information management specialist with a career in various sectors of the healthcare landscape. We will be unraveling their insights into how the informatic systems are helping to build the future of medicine, letting us reach a health system like the one we talked about at the beginning. Welcome, Dr. Botis and Mr. Gomez, to Medicine of the Future podcast.
Thank you, Marcos. It's really exciting to see people interested in this vast area. So happy to collaborate.
Of course, and yes, it's nice to discuss how we can improve medical technologies for the construction of a better healthcare system. Thank you for the invitation.
Sure, I'd like to begin reviewing a little bit the situation I was talking about earlier. Do you think we can achieve these features for our health system or at least arrive at something related?
Sure, if we look into it objectively, we can identify systems that already exist, and this can be improved to create a completely interconnected system that contains all of the aspects you mentioned. Of course, it represents a challenge, but we're moving toward the generation of a system that could work similarly.
I agree. Nowadays, many hospitals have access to information systems that automate several processes that in the past were made only by paper orders. We're talking about specific areas or task systems that connect the whole institution and, of course, integrate the patient's information.
Sounds really interesting. Why don't we start by talking about the patient's information? All this is managed by the electronic health record, right?
Yes, but first we need to establish the difference between EHR and EMR. The medical record, or EMR, is the medical record only in a physician office or clinic, just one setting, and is provider-centric. On the other hand, the electronic health record, better known as EHR, is patient-centric and contains the electronic version of a patient's medical history, with all the relevant clinical data such as progress note, problems, medication, vital signs, past medical history, immunizations, laboratory data, and radiology reports. But it also includes all the key administrative data relevant to the person's care under a particular provider. We can say that the EHR contains all the EMR, For example, for the situation you were talking about, we will be using the EHR. The future for this system is to standardize the structure of EHR, making it into a universal format that can be used in practically any healthcare clinic or hospital.
Okay, so basically the EMR is local, interorganizational, and EHR can be used for more than one organization. And as you said, for future applications, everything will be based on this last one, hoping that it could be used anywhere. But how exactly we can link a patient to their EHR?
Well, that question is actually answered with one of the aspects you mentioned in the starting situation. The MPI, these letters stand for Master Patient Index, and it is the centerpiece for all subsequent functionality and software applications. It's basically a directory that references all patients related to an organization. That serves as a link to the patient record information, facilitates patient identification, and assists in maintaining a longitudinal patient record from the birth to death, leading us precisely through the trajectory of each patient.
This Master Patient Index is also an auxiliary tool for the healthcare information system, which involves billing and patient management, management departments, provision of care and clinical documentation, and financial and resource management. This system contains all the information used inside the healthcare organization, which makes the communication and integration of the informatic easy. It also documents the medical information, manages the record maintenance, and support organization functions. It will be interesting to see this MPI as the biometric data of each patient, making secure and unique the way we access our electronic health records.
Sounds about right. Going back a little, what Dr. Bodis was describing, the HSYS, corresponds to an information system in the administrative area. These systems work as a unifying access point to all data related to the attention given to the patients, and they have an integrative focus towards information, centralizing all of it and allowing access from anywhere at any time. Each function is managed by a different module, each with their own system that operates independently from the others. The HSYS supports a hospital in many different ways, from the clinical decision making, using information available in the system, and an engine that provides the necessary one in the right situations, called Clinical Decision Support System, to the management of patients with the mentioned MPI, and the management of all the medical devices, including inventory, spare parts, maintenance, and contracts. This being through a CMMS, or Computerized Maintenance Management System. But the HSYS also includes administrative functions such as billing and finances, making use of MIS or Management Information Systems, which aim to automatize tasks as much as possible. Just as you mentioned in the beginning, Marcos, all of these functions are meticulously managed so that the attention brought to the patient is ideal and so that the hospital stays at a sustainable business.
Oh, it seems important that the administrative area also has control of its processes, leading to a better management of patients, departments, resources, and the practice itself. No doubt that an HSIS system promotes an improvement in the quality of patient care, decreasing errors in clinical decision making and improvement the management of processes and resources within hospitals. Now that we touched on some of the information systems, what about the systems related to other areas?
Oh, the rest of the systems rely on a category we call information system in clinics, which are systems that, for the sake of a bigger picture of the business, help manage a specific task like scheduling, billing, or communicating with external systems, sharing not the process but the outputs of it with a bigger management system. In here we have systems such as the LIMS or Laboratory Information System Management System, which streamlines the workflow of a laboratory by automatizing tasks, or the PACS and RIS, which manage all the information regarding the imaging area, aiming for a multimedia system that manages both texts and images and allows for easy access to them, and also the PIS, which maintains the supply and organization of drugs in a hospital. The previously mentioned CDSS and the EHR are also included in this category.
All these systems are connected through entry orders, and as we know, these orders used to be on a piece of paper or just a verbal agreement. Nowadays, we use a computerized provide order entry that allows us to send us an order from one department to another. This let us automate the process of healthcare management by making quick orders concerning what a patient needs, from one specific department to another. All this through a computer, avoiding the common errors that paper orders bring with them. And that's not all. It can also include the prescription system, and combined with a clinical decision support system, it will have the capacity to apply a logic based on rules to help the supplier in making optimal decisions for the different petitions, which will be according to the needs of each department. With all these benefits, healthcare attention will be effective and efficient, and improve safety and how the results are reported to the patient.
Surely a CPOE helps to optimize the process of orders, interconnecting in a better way the different departments. What could be other main aspects of integration through the different systems, since this is important to what we wish for the future?
Well, to begin, the integration of the system has the goal of making all what we already talked about, one complete system, mainly through data preservation and with very clear components of the plan management information to make effective the data management and generating a user interface that allows the access to all of the interconnected information. Just like what you helped us picture at the beginning, a dashboard that let us have the complete information available when we need it and allows the user to have an integrated view, allowing us to make a consistent interpretation of data and highly important having in mind strategies for informatic security for data protection.
It's also relevant to mention that for us to make this integration, we first need to have a correct standardization concerning structure, content, vocabulary, format for sharing the information, and, like Dr. Bodis accurately mentioned, privacy and security.
Picking up what you both mentioned, how can we protect patients' information? What are some strategies or main aspects?
It surely is important to protect all the data that the health system manages, with the well of this sensitive data in play. Robust backup system and straightened security measures are non-negotiable. Regular backups, encryption, and strict access controls are the pillars. Cybersecurity is a constant battle, and staying ahead is key.
That's true. Although we use biometric data, as you said in the beginning, by implementing the use of them instead of the traditional alphanumerical passwords, which have been a point of weakness in modern systems, we can improve security. It's important to say that biometrics divide in biological, which involve genes, morphological, which use physical metric traits, and behavioral, which are based on patterns unique to each person. Currently, morphological biometrics are already being used for security with fingerprint scanning or facial recognition, and it's already showing to be an effective tool for cybersecurity, being way harder to steal than a simple password. I believe that eventually this can be taken further by including behavioral patterns into the recognition of a user, making it even harder for hackers to obtain that information. But I guess we'll have to wait and see if it is a viable solution for this problem.
Wow, no doubt that using biometric data as one security filter, combined with the strategies Dr. Bodis mentioned, we can ensure that the data, everything that we have mentioned so far, is practically saying that the situation we started this episode with is reachable.
It is.
This is not very far from us, since we have the tools to get to that point. The EHR would be used in a universal format, letting desirably any hospital or clinic access the patient information, being able to use biometric data as the MPI or maybe as a security filter, and combined with other aspects of the new tendency, we can see a future of healthcare management like the one I made you imagine.
Sure thing. Following what you're saying, new tendencies, mostly artificial intelligence, can lead to more efficiency and adaptability in hospital environments. We're talking about using AI to analyze massive patient data to provide personalized suggestions and recommendations to physicians, integrating advanced natural language processing capabilities to interpret and process orders, using machine learning algorithms to analyze patterns in physician order data, identifying clinical trends, using blockchain technology to ensure the security and integrity of medical order data, and of course, designing more intuitive and user-centered interfaces. All this combined with the aspects we discussed sure are going to lead us to a great future in medicine.
I'm thrilled to get to experience all of that. Sounds complex but useful. Well, it has been quite nice to have you both here, answering our main concerns about informatic systems and their applications. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and putting us in a better understanding. Now we know another aspects of the medicine of the future. For all our listeners, thank you for being here. Don't forget to follow us on our social media and stay tuned for a new episode dynamics and topics. And as always, leave questions so we can answer them. Till the next one.